Well, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has today joined leaders of Caribbean nations and Jamaica for emergency talks on the crisis in Haiti, where gang leaders are demanding the resignation of the Prime Minister. The State Department said Mr. Blinken would take part in discussions on a proposal developed by the regional bloc, CARICOM, to speed up a political transition to a more inclusive government. Well, the talks will also include Haitian officials and envoys from the UN, France and Canada. Well, the World Food Programme has warned of famine conditions in the capital Port-au-Prince as armed gangs terrorise much of the city. Well, let's cross live now and speak to Harold Isaac, who's an independent journalist who's in Port-au-Prince. And Harold, we're hearing very worrying reports coming into us here at the BBC from Port-au-Prince. Just update us on the situation now.
Yes, as you mentioned, supplies are running scarce. There are some passage as the last few hours have been rather peaceful, but it's very fragile. I think everybody's waiting for what comes out of Kingston, which is on the political front. But we're running low on gas, on oil, food, water. It's a situation that risks becoming very difficult.
And you talk about food and water. There is talk of famine in Port-au-Prince. Have you seen evidence of that?
Well, it certainly is affecting families that have been displaced, that were in shelters and that had to run from the violence from these shelters to go and reshelter other places. So, of course, organizations such as the WFP, the UNICEF, are all raising alarms about how the situation may aggravate in the coming hours and days. So that's why everybody is hopeful for a resolution or some sort of path forward, at least politically, to start and address the security situation.
And of course, we've seen earlier pictures of the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Jamaica. There is a huge delegation there representing the UN, France and other stakeholders. They are trying to sort something out, but how much hope is there within Haiti itself that this is going to happen?
Well, hopes are high, but people are also very realistic about the possible outcomes as the political situation remains very complicated. There are several proposals presented to the CARICOM and the international community. It's unclear if they will find one common ground to help the country get out of that political void that we're facing right now.
And one final question to you. How worried are you personally about what's happening?
Well, like everybody else, even if we are somewhat, and personally I'm in a safer part of town, we don't know for how long. The gangs have rather calmed down in the last few hours, but it's unclear for how long, and that threatens all the supplies, as it stands right now. We're totally not in a normal day. Things are difficult. We have to be out and about and resupply, so it's complicated.
Okay, Harold, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Harold Isaac, stay safe if you can.
Thank you.